My name's Rhonda Parsons. I just turned 35 last August. What brought me to Grace Center's Hope? I grew up in a small town called Owasso, Michigan. I started drinking when I was 16, and that progressed into drugs. I got married, I had a divorce, and I moved to Pontiac. This was 5 years ago. I started smoking crack a couple months after I came down here, which led to me losing absolutely everything I had. I wound up on the streets, and then last January 12th, I got picked up by Pontiac Police Department on a felony prostitution charge. It was my third offense. I got to jail. 2 days after I got to jail, I found out that I was pregnant. I had no idea who the baby belonged to. I'm pretty sure it's a dope man, but can't be positive given what I was doing. And I was facing a year in jail, and I was scared to death that I wasn't going to get to keep my baby because I didn't have any contact with my family. My mother lives in Auburn Hills, which is just a few miles from here. I had quit speaking to her and my little brother and everybody when I started smoking crack. I was basically alone. And so when I started discussing deals with the prosecuting attorney and stuff, I just told him I needed help. I needed help quit smoking crack. I needed help get my life back together. So after almost 3 months in jail, they sent me to a place called Sequoia. Sequoia Recovery Services is a quartered rehab. I spent 90 days there, and while I was there, my counselor Shannon, she got me back in contact with my family. Mother's Day of last year, I spoke to my mother for the first time in almost 5 years. I found out that I had a niece. I have a niece now that is just turned 2. But the question was, where was I going after that? One of the guys that basically owns Sequoia knew Darren Weiss, who is the director of the men's department here and the pastor's son-in-law. He talked to Paul, the guy at Sequoia, and they brought me to Grace Centers to check it out, basically. I got here, and Joy set me down, Miss Joy. She sat me down and she told me about the program and told me that they were really excited because I knew I was having a baby girl, that I could have the baby with me, and that, she's the first baby girl born here in like almost 5 years, they said, so they were all excited about that. And I guess I made the decision to come here because I knew that I needed more help. After 5 years in the streets, 5 months wasn't going to get me nowhere in my recovery. So I made the decision to commit to a year. And June 19th of 2007, I came here. And July 10th, 3 weeks to the day after I got here, I had Nevaeh. Since then, it's been a battle. I see people that I know all the time. I've been asked, don't I miss the streets? Don't I miss smoking? And no, I don't miss none of it. I have a relationship with God now like I've never had before. I absolutely give him all the credit, second to none. The people at Grace Centers have given me a life back. I mean, we have rules and regulations, but I'm 35 years old and I have a baby that I get absolutely no help taken care of other than these people. And they're like her family. They're the only family she knows. Where do I hope to be going from this place? When I leave here, I hope to be able to raise her as happy and healthy as she is now. By the grace of God, she was clean when she was born. I hope that she never has to ever see her mother, where I came from, what I was doing. I'm learning responsibility here. I'm learning, that I I can make it in the outside world, and I hope that I can continue that once I'm gone. You know, she's my main concern. Jeez, that baby is my everything. And here lately, I have doubts all the time. I doubt myself, you know. And it's getting better. It's getting a lot better here, but I graduate in 3.5 months, and I'm scared. I'm scared that I won't be able to take care of her by myself. I'm scared that I won't be able to take on the responsibility of normal life, of a household, of a job. I want to go back to school. And that's all legitimate fears for me, but I'm learning every day a little more and more. You know, God tells me, you can do this. You can do this. It's kind of like we were talking about at lunch. He's never going to put no more on me than I can handle. I know that. But it's still scary. Next month I'll be off probation. Yay. I complied with everything the courts have asked me to comply with. Let's see. It's March. It'll be March 23rd, I believe. That'll be the first time I've ever completed anything in my entire life. I have another daughter that just turned 13 years old that I haven't seen in 5 years. That very soon I'm going to see about reconnecting with her. I mean, because when I came to Pontiac and I started doing drugs, I just quit everything. Everything. I walked away from everything and anything I had ever known, all for a crack rock. I mean, I separated from God. I mean, except for when I was in trouble, then it was God help me. But, I mean, since I've come here, I've learned a lot. I've learned, you know, that I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes, but who I was is not who I am. And it's in no way, shape, or form who I will be. People are entitled to change. And I have changed a lot. I see my mom every weekend now. Last Sunday I went to my nephew's birthday party. He just turned 9. This Saturday we're going roller skating. It's amazing, just the things that have changed in my life. You know, I mean, these people are amazing. To think that, you know, I always say it like this. I thank God for bringing me to Grace Centers of Hope. I have a life. I have family. My daughter is just spoiled rotten at 7 months old with love. She is, and everybody says it, the happiest baby. And she got her start on the streets with a crack-addicted mom. I thank God for Pastor Clark for actually starting all this. Thank God for Miss Pam for kicking him in the butt and keeping him going. All my counselors here and the girls here are just phenomenal. We thank God for Terry for doing our dorm and our rooms and making sure that we have a beautiful environment to live in. I mean, that's Nevaeh's first home upstairs, you know. And by the grace of God, she didn't have to live in the streets in abandoned buildings or with cockroaches or dirt or grime. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and anybody that sees it says so, you know. After I leave, I'm going to Seneca. Where I go from there, I don't have any idea. But I know I'm going back to school, and I'll have a job, and I'll learn to be a responsible, good mother. And I owe that to God in this place. And that's about all I can say on that. For real.